Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it is I, 2AthemR7, getting ready to start up another video in my replay of A Sky Full of Stars. Now, I've kind of taking a step back here. We've already done the common route, and then we did the route that is common to two characters, Hickory and Saya, that gets selected when you select on this screen, Be Firm and Keep It. I've taken that route all the way up until the next major decision where you choose one of those two characters, either Saya or Hickory, and I stopped there and came back to this point so that we can go through the other common route, or at least common to two characters as opposed to just one, and this time for Orihime and for Korona. So in order to get that path started, we have to click on Be Nice and Give It Back. There is going to be some repetition here because some of the scenes, indeed, that occur in one of the paths also occur in the other. But at least for now, we're going to not skip anything. We're just going to continue to read it all the way through because as a whole story, I love how they intertwined the individual character stories into it. It just makes more sense to read it all the way through, even if there is some repetition in these videos. But anyway, that's where we're going, so let's go ahead and get started by selecting Be Nice and Give It Back. In case you're wondering, if you can't recall why she's asking us to do one of these things, she's asked for the love letter that she handed us all those years ago. We can either be firm and keep it, or be nice and give it back. We are going to be nice and give it back. A part of me didn't want to give it to her. I still hadn't read the letter, but whatever was inside it must have been important, something Hickory really wanted to tell me 4 years ago. Letting it go would be like losing whatever feeling she had for me back then.
コマコさんのログ、さやに見せるよ。
Ugh. That was something I wanted to avoid at all costs. Okay, fine, you can have it. I stepped back into my room.
どうしたの、アキトくん。
Oh, I just forgot something. After digging through my stuff next to Saya and Orihime, I finally pulled out that book. I opened it to a page and, wow, look, a beginner's guide to astronomy. Wedged inside was the letter. Hickory held out her hand for it. Not so fast. Delete those messages first. It felt like a hostage negotiation scene from a movie. Hickory took out her phone and deleted the entire log of messages between myself and Kamako.
はい、消したよ。
Don't look so disappointed.
別に不満じゃないわよ。ただ、ちょっと寂しいだけで。楽しい思い出もあったのに。
Sure, memories of me embarrassing myself. Here. I handed her the letter.
本当に読んでないんだ。
The bunny sticker holding the envelope closed was still intact, the same as it had been 4 years ago. Maybe we should read it together now?
いらないいらない。
Hickory shoved the letter into her pocket before I had a chance to change my mind.
片付け終わりましたわよ。
Orihime opened the door and peeked through.
何を話し込んでますの？
Nothing.
手洗ってきまーす。
Hickory rushed off toward the sink.
どうかなさったの？なんだか少し寂しそう。
Me? No way.
ならいいんだけど。
Don't worry about me, Orihime. Besides, aren't you even getting tired of coming over to help out every day? You don't have to push yourself so hard.
無理なんてしてませんわ。私も残したいの。自分がここにいた証を。何せ私がここにいられるのもあと数ヶ月だから。
That's right, Hickory wouldn't be the only one leaving the Six Stars Club. Orihime would be graduating in March, then she'd be gone too.
だからダメと言われても手伝うわ。
Orihime gave a mischievous smile full of resolve. if all went well with the Dobsonian telescope, it would probably be used for years to come. No wonder she's pouring her blood and sweat into the primary mirror. It's the heart of the whole project. Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
私楽しいんですの。こうして大勢の仲間たちと活動することができて。
It's good to have you on board.
はい。
Orihime may have been 2 years older than me, but the innocent way she smiled always made her look like a sweet little girl. Anyway, at the very least, mirror grinding for the primary mirror was going well. Some time had passed since we had started our Dobsonian telescope. And the way things were coming along, we decided to hold another meeting.
そっち支えててもらっていいですか。
Got it!
そこ持っちゃダメです。もっと根元を。
Gomenasai. Today's meeting was out on the school grounds. Our club room was just a little too cramped. Kaisuke, the other Moromisawa astronomy club members, and I were all working to put together the Dobsonian telescope.
こんな風になるんだ。でっかい。大きいですわね。
We mounted the body on the already completed stand. The primary mirror and some of the other delicate parts still weren't ready, so that was as much as we could do for the day. Each school had taken care of a different part, so we had to try and put everything together to make sure the measurements all lined up.
やっぱ燃えるね。自作の望遠鏡。
はい。
The whole club from Nishai High was here. There were 4 members in all, including Naru, and one of their members was a guy. With that many members, they were actually the largest group in the Six Stars Club.
人の手の温かみが感じられていいですね。
Kaisuke looked more like he was built to play rugby, but he was the head of the Morimisawa Tech Club. They had all their members present today, too. All 3 of them were just as big as him, which made for quite the sight. I was so used to being in a club full of girls, so I was kind of glad there were so many guys present.
おや、あよいずまちゃんたちが何かやってるぞ。なんだろうあれ。
All the students that were heading home after school or headed to club activities were starting to take an interest in us. There we were, a group made up of 7 different school uniforms gathered around some giant contraption. We were bound to draw attention.
ねえねえ、かよいずまちゃん、これ何してるの？天体望遠鏡を組み立ててるんです。え、このなんかの寄せ集めみたいなのが天体望遠鏡なの？
I could tell she was about to call it a mishmash of trash. Each one of the schools had used their own scrap materials to make each of the parts. And as if that wasn't enough, all the parts were different colors, making it look even more like a bunch of junk.
そういや、かよいずまちゃんの彼氏ってうちの天文部なんだっけ？いえ、彼氏じゃ。
The ears of the Six Stars Club members all perked up upon hearing the girls talk about Saya's boyfriend.
あのお二人、やっぱりそういう関係だったんですね。まあ、だろうね。私は分かってたよ、最初から。というか、何ですか？かよいずまって。じゃあねー、かよいずまちゃん。またね。はい、さようなら。
After she was done staring at her feet for a moment, Saya looked up to find everyone's eyes on her.
なんでしょう。別に。かよいつま。ねえねえ、さやにかよいつまさせてんの？
I didn't make her, I think. I was quick to deny it, but after thinking for a moment, it probably was my fault that she'd earned such a nickname. Anyway, let's just focus on finishing this thing. I figured it would be great to get back to work before I said something I would regret. The partially built Dobsonian telescope was absolutely enormous.
共闘は骨組みだけなんだ。
郊外へ出て観測するなら邪魔な光が入ってくることもありませんからね。
When you think of a telescope, you probably imagine something like a pipe, but that's not always the case. The Dobsonian we were putting together lacked a lens tube and used only a frame with a primary and secondary mirror. The cylindrical tubes on telescopes were made to prevent any extra light from coming in from the sides, which would negatively impact image quality. But it also created airflow within the body, which has an impact on image quality too. Dobsonian telescopes are dependent on location, and if you use them in a dark area, you don't have to worry about the light. And by omitting the barrel, you also don't have to worry about the airflow. Plus, it'll be lighter.
ここに主鏡をはめ込むのね。
We tried to picture what the completed telescope would be like while looking at our frame. It was a bit clunky and definitely looked handmade, like a telescope made of junk. Most of the curious people who came to see what we were working on probably couldn't even tell it was a telescope at all. But it was almost so shoddy looking that it was actually cool. We probably couldn't expect a whole lot in the way of image quality, but I was sure that at the point, everyone was thinking just one thing. What will the skies above look like through our telescope? We'd worked so hard to polish and build it, so the stars we saw through it were sure to be special. Everyone was probably letting their minds run wild. Even someone like me, the astronomer who never looks at the stars, was excited.
寸法が合わない部分がありますね。詳細は僕らでやりましょうか。
そうしていただけるとスムーズで良いかと。あ、そうだ、写真。
And then, as if on command, one of the younger Nishai High students pulled out a camera from their bag.
ロブソニアンだけだと大きさが想像しづらいから誰か横に立ってみて。姫さんがいいか。これでよろしくて。いいね。そうブログのアクセスが最近伸びてるんですよ。神野さんの写真のおかげでしょうか。ブログに載ってる写真すごく綺麗に撮れてますよね。
We also have to thank Noriko for updating it so regularly, too. Noriko was a bit of a beginner and didn't really have much to offer in building the telescope, so she focused on updating the blog. The posts were brief, easy to read, and really captured the surprise and excitement that only a real beginner could offer. Noriko and Hikari's school, Amahai, was right on the southern border of Hoshinanaka and was the closest school to the city. As it wasn't the best location for watching stars, Amahai's astronomy club focused more on reading books and using computers. I guess it explained why they weren't so good at the technical sort of stuff. So with Naru's photos in the mix, people just started to take an interest in our activities. Or it could be because the first thing uploaded was a picture of the lovely Orihime polishing a lens with a serious look on her face. Either way, more views was good news. Even our mistakes turned out well in the end.
この前はブログのコメント欄のおかげで助かりました。
Someone had looked over our plans and left a comment with some advice for us. They even answered questions we had and helped us avoid making a few mistakes. There were even people from other astronomy clubs who dropped in to show their support, which really helped us and all keep motivated.
最初は日に20アクセスもあればいいところでしたが、今では1日平均100件を超えてます。
Back at the start, those 20 hits were mostly just club members, so when you take that into account, we'd really come a long way. Orihaime's face lit up at Haneka's comment.
世界中が私たちに注目している。うつら星の会の存在をあまねく世界へ知らしめましょう。世界、姫ちゃんたちすごい。そうね。
Everyone except Korona seemed less than excited. But this wasn't the first time they'd all had this conversation. Every time Haneka mentioned it, the whole scenario would repeat itself.
試供の研磨作業はどの程度進んでいますか？
Haneka was looking over the construction charts on her tablet. We finished cutting it, and now we're working on the surface. Once that's done, it'll just need a bit of pitch polishing, and then we'll be set for a focult test. A focult test is used to determine if the surface is paraboloidal. I got it right that time, I think. It allows you to see shadows in the small dips and bumps on the seemingly flat mirror. which you can then smooth out in a finished product. We borrowed the equipment we needed for the test, and Kaisuke also got some help in making the last wooden box piece. Okay, once it's all done, we just need Champ, our instructor, to take a look and approve it for us. Then we can send it in to get it coated. Plating was the only part we couldn't do ourselves, so we had to ask the pros instead. That was the last step needed to complete the telescope.
会長、そろそろよろしいのでは？
Orihime nodded to Hanaka's prompt.
ファーストライトの具体的な計画を立てましょう。っていうと、何を見るかだね。
Everyone started thinking long and hard after hearing Naru's words. When the Dubsonium was finished, what would we see? What did we want to see? And more importantly, what would we be able to see? We should probably start with something easy, right?
課題の精度も低いだろうし、目当ての星を探すのも一苦労でしょうね。
だったらはい、ダルさん。クリスマスイブの夜がいいと思います。はあ？望遠鏡でサンタクロースでも探そうっての？じゃなくて、その日にやれば人も集めやすいじゃないですか。クリスマスイブの星空を見ようとか言って、ムツラ星の会のメンバー以外も人を呼んで大勢で観測会やったらいいんじゃないかな。
Everyone just sort of stared at Hickory.
あれ、私なんかまずいこと言った？それですわ。
Orihime grabbed her hand and started shaking it over and over.
それこそ私が考えていたムツラ星の会。より多くの人に関心を持ってもらおうっていうのが会の目的ですもんね。そういった名目なら人を集めやすいと思います。次の日から冬休みだしね。
I pulled out my phone to see what the skies would be like on the 24th. The moon would set sometime in the afternoon, so the skies would be perfect that night.
クリスマスイブの星空はロマンチックでいいですね。そこで星の解説などをやれば関心を持つ人が増えるかもしれませんね。じゃあいっそクリスマスツリー星団でも見てみるかい？
何それ見たい。そんなのあるの？それにこの子もいます。
Saya panicked upon suddenly being singled out.
じゃなくて、
Hickory raised her arm a little to point past Saya.
ドブソニア？ええ、だってほら。
Hickory gestured at all the people that had gathered around us. I hadn't noticed, but we were basically surrounded. Everyone seemed to be taking an interest in what this big thing in front of us was. They had no idea it was a telescope, but just the sheer size and look of it drew them in. I guess our Thompsonian telescope is the only billboard we really need.
当日は集まってくれた人たちにも見てもらえばいいんじゃないかな。みんな驚くだろうね。自分たちで作った望遠鏡で星を見たことなんてないだろうから。いかがでしょう、隊長。満天の星に彩られた聖なる夜。採用ですわ。場所は前にほうき星さんに教えてもらったあそこでしょうか。だとすると、あの吹きさらしの山の斜面でどうやって寒さをしのぐかですね。
We have to not only worry about ourselves, but also the general public that has no experience stargazing out on cold winter nights. How about we set up tents?
アウトドア方面はアキトにお任せだね。
I'm not sure we have enough though, and rentals would cost money. There were only so many we could set up too. I thought it over a bit more before speaking up. You know, we have a place that could work. It took Saya a moment to realize that she was part of we, but when she did, she immediately nodded her head in agreement. You're fine with it too, right, Hickory?
あるでしょ。星を見るのにちょうどいい場所が。
There's a place I want to show you all. You have a moment? Everyone nodded hesitantly in agreement, still unconvinced. After we finished taking down the Dobsonian telescope, I led the entire Six Stars Club out to that old familiar place. It was a little far, but everyone stuck along to see where we would be setting up. Still, though, we had to cross a dam, climb up a mountain, and make our way through a dark forest, so people were definitely spooked. But that was only until we got there. The sky was painted brilliant orange as we made our way up the mountain. Here we are!
何ですのここ。駅だけど人がいない。無人駅だからってわけじゃないよね。
Everyone was both a little surprised and impressed as they looked over the crumbling station and the train that stood still in front of it. It used to be an unmanned station, but that's not why no one's here.
ずっと前にこの先の線路が流されて、それ以来使われてないんです。
Everyone watched in silence as Hickory, Saya, and I headed up onto the platform. The three of us looked back at them from up top. So this place is...
私たちの秘密の天文台。
This is where the Mikazuki Astronomy Club was based.
ここで星を。
The rest of them stayed a little ways away, staring at the abandoned train car.
素敵な場所。物語の舞台みたい。
廃墟だけど車両があるせいかなんだかまだ生きているみたいですね。
あの観測ノートはここで書かれたのね。
はい。
こんな場所だったんだ。アキ兄たちの秘密基地。
Korona said in a somewhat lonely tone. She had always wanted to come out here with us, but it was dangerous enough during the day, never mind in the dark of night, so I was sure her mom would have had a fit if we had taken her with us. Eventually, we just kind of stopped spending time with her. Oh, come on then, get on up here. Orihime grabbed my hand timidly as I reached down to help her up. Once she made her way up the platform, the others began to follow. You're welcome inside, too.
本当だ。なんか綺麗。昔はよくここで一緒に寝たよね。冬場の天体観測もテントいらずだったわね。
After we cleaned up a bit, all we needed were blankets and we could stay plenty warm through the night here. We get to see the opposite part of the sky from over there, too. Between here and there, we pretty much had a full view of the night sky.
いいのではないでしょうか。隊長、素敵です。こんな場所で星を見るなんて。でも、いいのかしら。
Orihime said with a small frown. What do you mean?
ここはあなたたち3人の大切な場所なんでしょう。そこへ我々が大勢で押しかけて、観測会当日は知らない方々もいらっしゃいますわ。
The three of us glanced quickly at one another. I mean, it's probably fine.
別にいいよね。
There you have it. It's not like we ever wanted this to just be our place. We just never had anyone else to take out here with us.
では、使わせてもらいますわ。ここでみんなで星を見ましょう。やったー。はい。
楽しみだな。
どうしたのコロナ。やっとコロナも仲間に入れてもらえたんだなって。
Hickory patted her on the head, messing with her hair.
よろしくね。ヒカリン。
Hickory readied her hand for a karate chop.
冗談だよ、ヒカリちゃん。
And with that, the whole of us came together and made preparations for our first light test. It was right at the start of 6th grade winter break.
だからダメだって言ってんだろ。
どうしてダメなの？ねえ。
Takiichi and Korona were arguing out in front of Sayotomi.
うるせえ。
Takeichi's fist came down onto Korona's head.
お兄ちゃんがぶった
ったく泣くんじゃねえよ、めんどくせえ。
Takeichi stood in front of his crying sister looking frustrated. Korona, are you okay?
あきに
She turned to me, her sad expression gone as she ran over to me.
はいあきにだあきに
Looking at her, you wouldn't believe she'd just been bawling her eyes out moments ago. She was always quick to cry, but quick to perk back up, too.
だねえねえ聞いてお兄ちゃんが意地悪するの
Being mean?
コロナも一緒に連れてってって言っても連れてってくんないのやっぱしコロナはのけ者なんだ
I looked over at Takeichi, his face still crossed.
別に俺は悪くねえ。妹なんかと一緒に遊べるかよ。また母ちゃんにどやされる。
Boys our age seem to get into a lot of dangerous situations. And with Takeichi as the head of the local ruffians, he loved doing everything the adults told him not to. Why don't you just do something Korona can do too?
嫌だね。ガキどもになんてしてられるかっての。それよりカード。
With an air of indifference toward us, he tore into his crunchy chocolate bar he just bought.
また悪魔じゃん。くそ
コロナと同じだ
うるせえ。
He took the cards and tossed the chocolate at Korona.
くれるの
やるから絶対ついてくんなよ。
And with that, he just ran off, leaving his sister behind.
あきには行かないの
Nah, I never said I was going to hang out with him anyway.
そっかじゃあコロナと一緒に遊ぼう遊んでくれるならこのチョコあげる
Nah, you can have it.
でも出ないとあきにもコロナと遊んでくんないでしょ
That's not true.
やっぱりあきにってば優しいうちのお兄ちゃんとは全然違うよ
Takeichi was just trying to look out for his sister by not getting her into anything dangerous. Although it seems he did it because he didn't want to make his parents mad.
あきには買わないのパックリマンチョコ
Of course I am. I went in and bought a crunchy chocolate bar from the old lady at Sayers Tommy and opened it up.
何出た
A charm. Home Run Boost.
わいいな当たりだ
Time after time, Takeichi would leave Korona behind and the two of us would hang out like this. But our age gap was pretty big, so it never really grew into anything more than that. Still, though, she always thought of me as a nice older brother sort of figure.
どれがいいかなやっぱし可愛いのがいいよね
Korona was seated at the cafe space at the convenience store with a bunch of pamphlets spread out in front of her. I peeked and saw that they were for cell phone providers. They were covered with colorful cell phones, all competing to catch her attention while with this or that new feature.
ねえねえあきにちょっといい確かスマホだったよねどんなの使ってるかコロナに見せて
Sure, here. I pulled my cell phone out of my apron pocket and handed it over to her.
なるほどあきにのはこういうのか普通だけどなんかかっこいいね
It was just the cheapest one they had.
いいじゃんそれでも似合ってるんだし
That was probably the first time I'd ever heard of a phone suiting someone. Anyway, are you planning on getting a phone or something? As far as I knew, she didn't even have a flip phone, let alone a smartphone. I bet she came all the way out here to talk to me about it, even though this place is pretty far from her house.
今交渉中なんだクリスマスに買ってもらおうと思ってるのみんなと連絡取ろうと思ったらやっぱし必要だもんね実はこの前姫ちゃんに連絡先聞かれちゃって
Hime? Who was that? Since there were someone like that around us?
あのおっぱいの大きい綺麗なお姉さんだよ
Oh, Orihime. That was pretty easy to figure out once you thought about it. But I wondered why Korona called her Jaime in the first place.
姫ちゃんって呼んだら喜んでくれたんだよこれからもぜひ
That sounds like Orihime for you. She was probably happy to have a younger girl calling her by a cute nickname.
でもやっぱり失礼かな。先輩ってつけた方がいい？
Nope. She said so herself, that she liked it, right?
あ、だよね。
She smiled and nodded, her face covered in an excited smile. I was sure she liked the nickname just as much as Orihime did.
姫ちゃんは姫ちゃんだもんね。これからもじゃんじゃん姫ちゃんって呼ぶことにする。
Orihime would be sure to get a kick out of it too. The both of them would be pleased. She went back to mulling over the pamphlets. I decided to give her some advice while I cleaned up the coffee maker.
違いがさっぱりわかんない。
If that's the case, why not just pick the one you think looks nice?
それもそうなんだけどね。
It looked like she cut down to just a couple options. She had little tags sticking out to mark the cell phone she liked.
アキ兄はこっちとこっちどっちがいい？
One was a popular model from Company A, and the other a slightly older model from Company S. If you're going for price, then the S one. If you want more features, though, then A, probably.
ってことは、アキ兄なら A 社だ。
Not quite, I'd go for the S. I'm sure that she was aware of my constant lack of funds. Anyway, no matter which one you pick, you should still be able to use chat apps. You should trust your instincts.
そうだね。じゃあ直感で選んでみる。
And with that, she went back to staring at the catalog. She seemed really serious about the whole thing.
そうだ、アキ兄。
She said as if she'd just recalled something.
絶対スマホ買ってもらえるように頑張るから。そしたら通話アプリの ID 教えてね。
Sure, no problem. For Korona, getting her first smartphone was probably a big step in becoming part of the group. She'd always been like this, really. Speaking of, what did you do when Orihime asked for your number?
一応家電の番号を教えておいたよ。でも家に電話しにくかったらアキ兄に連絡してって。
What, me, not Take?
姫ちゃんがお兄ちゃんに連絡するのなんか嫌だし。あんなおっぱいの美人さん、お兄ちゃんにはもったいないよ。
Now that was something I couldn't argue with.
ぐいしゅっと。
Orihime moved a heavy box to the edge of the platform. Today, all available Six Stars Club members had gathered to help clean up our secret observatory. We were getting rid of a lot of stuff, along with sweeping, wiping, and making the place clean and neat. Once that was done, we were going to bring in blankets and cushions, paper cups, plastic dinnerware, and other tableware. We were doing all we could to make the place nice and cozy. It was all in preparation for a big event.
いざ始めてみると結構な量があるわね。
She wiped her sweat with a handkerchief. It looked like she was a bit out of breath. You could just leave the heavy lifting to me, you know. I tried to subtly hint that she didn't need to work so hard.
平気よ。これ式の荷物。
She tried to flex, but it was hard to make anything out through her coat.
うわー、姫ちゃんプニプニだー。いきなり揉まないでください。
Korona had snuck up behind her and grabbed her upper arms.
会話だけ聞くとなんかエッチいわね。
Definitely. Hickory and I just nodded at each other.
外に出したものは全部処分しても OK でしょうか。
Yeah, it's just been sitting here for years anyway.
この箱はこちらに置いても平気ですか？
Here, I'll stack them up. The way Norika was holding it, I thought it would be super heavy, but it really wasn't that bad. Now that I thought about it, though, I was the only guy here in the whole group.
こっちのやつ捨てちゃっていいか確認してくれる？
She wanted me to make sure. All the stuff we gathered up here was once our secret treasure, but now that we'd all grown up, it was just a bunch of junk. Most of it was just random stuff Hickory had brought in, but there were some of my and Saya's stuff too.
こんなにいっぱい集めたんだね。
The boxes were filled with all sorts of random stuff. This definitely wasn't done by a methodical Saya. This was all Hickory. But wow, remember this? I had forgotten all about this stuff, but one look was enough to bring the memories back.
見てよ。クッキー缶にクヌギのどんぐりばっかり大量に入ってる。
Those are sawtooth acorns. They're super cool.
鬼ヤンマには負けるよ。
I couldn't argue with that. They could even take down giant hornets, so we had always admired how fierce they were.
見てこれ。アキトがサヤにあげた石だ。懐かしいね。水切りが上手にできる石だっけ。
Yeah, but you tucked it away forever instead.
だっていい形してたんだもん。
Saya smiled and tucked the stone away. Now then, what else have we got? Whoa, what is this? The box was just full of some brown something or other.
松ぼっくりだよね。
An entire box filled with pine cones. Who collected all these pine cones? This was definitely Hickory, I thought to myself as my eyes followed after her.
私じゃないってば。さすがにこれは違うし。
No matter how many you collect, they aren't going to transform into sea urchins, you know.
当たり前じゃない。私をバカにしてんの？
No, I mean, didn't you say something like that once? It was something like pine cones are the urchins of the mountains, and one day they'll grow up and make their way back to the sea. Someone had made a joke like that back when we were kids. Maybe it was Takeichi, or was it someone else?
それ私の。
Saya held out her hand up with an embarrassed look on her face.
この松ぼっくり、サヤが集めたの？ごめんね、よくわかんないことして。集めた理由わかんないの？
Let me guess, sea urchins? We have a winner!
おかしいよね。松ぼっくりはウニじゃないのに。いたいけなさやを一体誰が騙したの？光だよ。
So it was you! So the legend of the mountain urchins really was another of Hickory's crazy ideas then.
全く記憶にございません。でも深く謝罪いたします。
Hickory gave a deep bow toward Saya. Her twin ponytails shook as she did so.
許してくれる？許す。サヤー！好きだ！私も大好きだよ。光。
Saya warmly accepted the hug from Hickory. They were just as close as ever. They had a couple years apart, but seeing them here and now, it was like that had never happened.
それでこのウニじゃなかった松ぼっくりはどうする？アキトくんにあげる。
No thanks, I'm good.
サヤのプレゼントだよ。たとえ泥団子だって美味しく食べなきゃいけないのに。
Oh, give me a break already.
もうしょうがないな。さすがに捨てるのはもったいないし。そうだ。いいこと思いついた。
She smiled suddenly like the Hickory I'd known so long ago, and headed out of the train.
おーいコロナ、いいものあげるからこっち来なさい。いいもの？なになに？いいものって松ぼっくりだよね。
What a jerk.
コロナ来ました。ねえねえ何くれるの？サヤが丹精込めて育てた山のウニよ。ウニ？育てたの
？She wasn't quite the liar Hickory was. Don't fall for that, it's just a bunch of pine cones.
確かに松ぼっくりだ。今は松ぼっくりちゃんだけど、大事に育てたらおいしいウニになるんだよ。さすがに諦めなよ光。
Saya just couldn't watch Hickory try to play us off on Korona.
もしかしてコロナを騙した？ひどいよピカリ。ただの松ぼっくりにそんな付加価値つけるなんて。確かに今のは
finally realized that she was on her own on this.
ヒカリンのバカ犯罪者犯罪者って。だって詐欺だもん。松ぼっくりはウニじゃないもん。
Korona angrily grabbed some of the pine cones from the box
な
and then sent them flying at Hickory. She managed to dodge them, but pine cones were flying all over the place.
こーらやめなさい。やめてたまるか。うわ
Korona had become chasing Hickory.
楽しそうだね。
Really? Are you kidding me? We are supposed to be cleaning, but this was just making a bigger mess. If Orihime were to catch us like this,
何をやってるんですか。
it was Hanukkah who found us instead. They didn't say anything else, but just froze in place and watched me pick up all the pine cones. Kuminasai, those idiots made a real mess.
別に構いませんけど。まあまあ、吉岡もそんな顔しないで。
Orihime came walking in behind her.
それよりも散らかったものを片付けますわよ。もちろんやってくれますわよね。
The way she spoke left no room for anyone to decline.
すみませんでした。ごめんなさい、姫ちゃん。
Even the two culprits apologized to her. Just like Saya, Orihime was the one person you didn't want to get mad, though in an entirely different way.
反省したのなら結構よ。それより回収したこれは箱ごと処分でいいかしら。
Wait, let's save the pine cones.
騙されちゃダメだよ、アキに。松ぼっくりはウニにならないんだから。
Yeah, no kidding. But that's not what I'm talking about. Dried pine cones are great for building fires. If we hang on to them, we can probably use them for our first light event. Newspaper would work fine too, but since we already had all of these, we might as well use them. It was always good to have an emergency heat source when coming out here at night.
松ぼっくりを焚き付けに。全く知りませんでしたわ。
Yeah, it's not something most people would probably spend any time thinking about anyway. I only knew because I'd run into a tight spot where I needed to use them. It was nothing to brag about.
でも私たちに全く無縁の知識とは言えないわ。それなのに私は知らないことばかりで。
It wasn't really a big deal one way or the other. Well, you'll do fine if you remember from here on out, right?
そうですわね。ムツラ星の会にはきっと必要な知識ですから。
Good to know for the upcoming first light, and from here on out too. The more activities we get involved in, the more everyone will learn.
空見くん、一ついいかしら。
Sure, what is it?
空見くん、あなたはそのいえ、やっぱり何でもありませんわ。忘れてください。
It seemed like she wanted to say something, but without more information than that, there wasn't much point in worrying about it.
アキ兄たちの天文クラブはここで活動してたんだ。
Korona seemed to take a keen interest in the old train car. Our little cleanup had already come a long way, and the place didn't bear much resemblance to its older look.
あんたこの前もここに来たじゃないの。あの時は中をちゃんと見る時間なかったから。
Here we were again in our secret little hideout. The place had been sacred to us, and we had never allowed any even Korona to come out here before. Finally coming out here must have been a pretty emotional event for her.
すごいな。
It's nothing that impressive, really. This place used to seem really cool once upon a time, but these days it didn't seem much more than a rusty old train. It was all busted up and dusty, with winds creeping in from every crack and hole. The only thing here worth anything at all would have been our observatory observation journal. Compared to that, everything else was just a bunch of junk.
いいな。なんか羨ましい。
She had probably always wondered why we never let her be part of our group, even though we were just a year apart. We never had a satisfying answer for her back then, though.
それでどうすんの？
Korona was a bit lost in her thoughts, but Hikari asked her question anyway.
コロナが決めていいの？
私は昔っからそう言ってたつもりだけど。
Hikari had never been too easy on Korona. She was always telling her to decide things for herself. And it looked like that was something that hadn't changed.
コロナはやっぱりみんなの仲間に入りたい。
That's why she wanted to get a phone. Who even knows how she managed to get in touch with Orihime today to come out here and help?
もう遅いかな。
Of course not.
そうそう。
I had never expected we'd be back out on this train again. But here we are again, just like old times. I guess it's not exactly the same as before, but still, it felt familiar enough.
よーし、それじゃあ。くさかべころな。
She used a rock to carve her name into the wall of the train. The peeling paint gave way under the rock, showing the metal underneath.
私たちも昔似たようなことしたっけ？
I'm pretty sure we just used markers, but we didn't go crazy and carve up the walls.
どこだったかな。もう消えちゃってると思うけど。
Even if it was a permanent marker, the years probably weathered it away to nothing but a memory. The names we wrote back then would never show themselves on these walls again.
できたっと。アキ兄たちはどうする？待ってください。それでは片手落ちですわ、コロナさん。
That had come from a voice I wasn't expecting to hear.
片手落ちって何か足りなかったかな。不足しているものが一つあります。それは二つ名ですわ。プレアデス七姉妹の末の妹メローペよ。なるほど。そう、私はメローペ。
Korona took out the stone in her hand again, but stopped.
どうしました？メローペってカタカナじゃまずいよね。
Not quite the problem I was anticipating.
こんなところですわね。
We finished up our cleaning and headed outside. It gets dark out pretty quick this time of year, and we should probably head back. We'd loaded the boxes of junk onto the cart we'd brought with us. Now we just had to bring it back down with us.
台車だと坂道が不安ですね。それなら心配には及びませんわ。先ほど車を手配しましたので。
Awesome, thanks, Orihime.
あと15分もすれば到着するそうです。
15 minutes was nothing compared to how much of a pain it would have been to push the cart all the way.
お腹すいた。そうだね。何か食べてく？
早乙女の豚まんが食べたいな。
She said while looking pleadingly my way. But I was not about to let her fool me like that. Just so you know, I only work part-time, so I can't cover you.
やっぱ私じゃ無理だったか。さや、出番だよ。
アキト君は誘惑すればいいの？
そうそう。上目遣いでおねだりおねだり。
This was almost too much to handle.
なんて可愛い。さすが私のさや。いいよいいよ。私が買ってあげる。豚まんでも唐揚げちゃんでもなんでもいいよ。
Looks like Hikari gave in before I did. I suppose this is what they mean by the hunter becoming the hunted.
私は別にいいよ。
Saya said, somewhat troubled by Hikari's reaction.
まあいいか。私は豚まん買うけど、さやはどうする？
豚まんはやめとこうかな。
早乙女のは美味しいけどちょっと大きすぎるから。
It doesn't look like you'll be sharing one with Hickory.
もちろん私は全部食べられるし。
That was Hickory for you.
なら私と半分ずつ食べませんか？
いいの？
私も半分くらいなら食べたいなって思いましたので。
This is surprising coming from Hanukkah. What about Orihime? I figured that if she shared with anyone, it would be Orihime.
会長ならあっちです。いいですか、コロナさん。いえ、末の妹メローペよ。
Orihime broke into a speech while staring out at the night sky.
メローペとはプレアデス7姉妹の一人。そのプレアデスの神話はご存知かしら？よく知らない。ならば少しだけ語って差し上げましょう。プレアデスの7姉妹は巨人アトラスと妖精プレヨーネとの間に生まれました。彼女たちはとても仲良しで、月の女神アルテミスに仕えていたそうです。ある日、姉妹が森で遊んでいたところ、一人の狩人がやってきました。その狩人は名をオリオンと言います。オリオンは美しい姉妹に一目惚れしてしまうのです。
Orihime continued her story of the Pleiades making full use of her melodramatic voice. It was like watching a real Greek tragedy, and the area was slowly transformed into the world of the gods she spoke of.
はい。
After parting ways with Orihime and the other members, we sat down to enjoy our pork buns.
まだちょっと暑すぎるよ。
Unlike Hickory, Korona wasn't quite able to go right at it. It's best if you pull it apart and let it cool down a bit.
そうする。おつゆが溢れる。ほら、こうして。
Saya took the split half and put it underneath. That would stop it from tripping on the ground.
ありがとう。どういたしまして。
Korona seemed a little on edge, but Saya was just smiling at her. Just like I'd expect both of them.
美味しかった。
Korona said as she finished and relaxed a bit.
ねえコロナ、さっきはかなり興奮してたみたいだけど、どう？メローペとしての自覚はできた？もちろん。コロナはメローペ、7姉妹の末っ子。
She was still as intense as always, even after eating. Orihime's story must have really awakened something within her. Looks like you had fun then. Orihime really has a way with words, so that's no surprise.
声も綺麗だよね。住んでてよく通るし。さやだって負けてないよ。いい声してるじゃん。姫ちゃんの方がすごいもん。
Although it had only been a few minutes of conversation, it appeared that Korona was already a zealous Orihime follower.
ひかりちゃんも聞いてたよね、さっきの姫ちゃんのお話。だったら姫ちゃんが一番だってわかるでしょ。全然比較にもなんないんだから。
いや、うちのさやが最高だって。私も白鳥さんにはかなわないと思うな。さや、もっと自信持って。私のさやは最高に可愛いんだから。
It sounded like they're comparing two different things here, but Hickory just won't stop until everyone sees her favorite little Saya is number one of everything.
姫ちゃんが一番だし、さやが一番だってば。シャー！
And suddenly it was like a fight between two predators. You know, they both have pretty nice voices.
どっちつかずの発言に喜んじゃダメだよ、さや。アキ兄の裏切り者。
Who did I betray? I was just being perfectly honest. It would have been hard to pick one or the other.
プレアデスの7人目、メローペか。ピカリンは気になる？まあね。ムツラ星の会は文字通りスバルの6連星を意味するから。
that meant that she, the 7-star, wouldn't be included. I wondered if Korona understood the significance behind that.
ていうか、またピカリンって呼んだな。
Hickory's karate chop landed hard on Korona's head.
あいよ頭蓋骨が陥没する。うわ、もしかしていいとこ入っちゃった？ねえ、コロナ、大丈夫？なんてね。あんた、私を騙したの？ったくもう、心配したじゃない。大丈夫だよ。コロナは頑丈だから。なら、もう一発お見舞いしても平気ね。ひかりちゃん、その顔怖いってば。
And Hickory was ready to lash out again with a flurry of chops.
あれ、チョップじゃない。そう何度もチョップしないわよ。
She was petting Korona on the head this time instead.
チョップよりもこっちの方がいいね。はいはい。
She continued petting her. Hickory seemed more like a big sister to her.
ひかりちゃん。何？呼んでみただけ。
It seemed like Korona was really enjoying herself. This was probably just what she'd been looking for when she joined us.
そうだ、君。ファーストライトだっけ？みんなで星を見るやつ。コロナも絶対参加するからね。アキ兄たちの作ったでっかいので星を見るんだから。
And so our work on the Dobsonian and preparations for the event came together steadily. Once we had the date set for Christmas Eve, everyone was really able to focus and get things done. Then one day toward the end of the semester, as we were finishing our work,
これが、そうなのですか？おお。
all of us gasped at the large, circular, securely wrapped package resting before us. Here goes then. I pulled away the packing material to reveal the newly coated primary mirror. The ancient one's evil eye, previously a big piece of junk, had come back reborn and perfectly smooth.
ついにドブソニアンの最後のパーツが揃ったのですわね。あとはこれを組み立てるだけで完成というだよね。
That should be it, yeah. Kaisuke from Misawa was in charge of construction.
じゃあもうすぐ望遠鏡ができちゃうってこと？
Yep, you got it.
やったー！
ついに私たちだけの天体望遠鏡が。そうだ、ブログに掲載できるよう開封の儀を写真に撮っておかないと。はい
はい、私撮るよ。
Naru wasn't here with us today, so Hickory took pictures with her phone instead. The coating on the lens really was something else. Looking at a reflection on its perfectly smooth surface, you wouldn't have believed that we had made it ourselves.
星の光を集めるんだ。
こんな大きな鏡ならきっと小さな星の光も余さず集めてくれますよ。
Let's talk with Kaisuke soon about when we can finally put this thing together. It was final exam season, but we really needed to get this thing done.
よろしくお願いします。
楽しみだね。早く観測会したいね。
With that, we finally had the last piece to our plans. Wow, it really does have rings. They go all the way around the planet too. Cool.
どれ？私も見たい。ねえねえ。
Relax, geez, here.
わあ、輪っかついてるね。かっこいい。あの黒い線がカシーニ空
This planet has ears. That's what Galileo Galilei said when he first looked at Saturn. He constructed his very own 30 times magnification telescope and was the first person to look so far out into the night sky. And then, only half a century later, Huygens discovered that those ears were actually a ring. He is said to be one of the inventors of the aerial telescope. Next, Cassini discovered that the ring actually had spaces in them. When observing this Cassini division, he used a gigantic 46-meter-long aerial telescope. And now, we were looking at those very same rings. With this tiny telescope.
あの輪って小さな塵や氷が集まって土星の周りを回ってるんだよね。輪の一番外にある隙間がカシーニ空撃なんだって。ふーん、すごいね、望遠鏡って。うん、すごいね。
Now we can see, with our very own eyes, the stars that sit across the vastness of space. And we can see them so clearly, too. It's almost like magic. I wonder what it would be like with an even larger telescope.
スバルみたいな？違うよ。一番すごいのはハッブル宇宙望遠鏡だよ。だって宇宙にあるんだもん。
Here we were looking out at the stars that Galileo could only have dreamt of seeing, and it still wasn't enough for us. But he must have felt the same way. Him, Huygens, Cassini, and every other astronomer. I was sure that they all wished they could look out even farther and see it all even closer. If only there was a telescope that could bring the stars to our very hands. But first, the unavoidable enemy of every student, final exams. Once these were out of the way, though, we would have a nice long winter break to look forward to. The members of the Six Stars Club were focused on their exams, while eagerly anticipating our stargazing event. The only thing we had left to do was tackle our tests, and maybe do a little sun dance for good luck or something.
今週はずっと晴れたり曇ったりだね。もういいそう。今のうちに土砂降りになって当日はきれいさっぱり晴れてほしい。
天気ばかりはどうしようもありませんね。
祈りましょう、天に。そんなことより光、試験勉強ちゃんとした？心置きなく星を楽しむためにはテストの結果も大事だよ。こんな場所でまでお母さんみたいなこと言わないで。
It's true, though. If we could get a storm to clear things out, we'd be all set. I drew a little Tero sunshine amulet on the margins of my answer sheet. I wondered if it would be able to help us avoid the rain, or hold off the rain. The date for our stargazing event was Christmas Eve, the day after our tests and the last day of the semester. When was the last time I'd ever been so excited for Christmas? Ever since my parents passed away, it pretty much meant nothing to me. We kept our eyes on the subtle changes in the weather reports, and we made more and more Tero sunshine amulets each day. And then one day, a gentle rain washed in with gloomy clouds overhead to reflect the gloom and doom of our tests. But in the end, our second semester ended in beautiful sunshine. Are you ready? I'm gonna let go.
どうぞ。
After I let go of the frame, it stood without any support. The skeletal frame of our lens tube stood out under the open skies. Our Dobsonian was finally complete.
でっかーい壮観ですわ。こうして見ると迫力あるね。
Everyone looked on proudly, taking in the fruits of our labor. We all came straight here after closing ceremonies to get things ready for the event. No one had wanted to miss this, so everyone had showed up, even the members that lived far away.
本当に望遠鏡作っちゃったんだね、私たち。それもこんなに大きいやつだよ。
Set up here on the mountain slope, right under the clear skies, the Dobsonian was quite a sight to behold. building a frame for the body and every single part, right down to the lenses, was made of refurbished materials. Our telescope really looked like the king of all junk. But despite that, it seemed to stand there in solitude, sights set on the heavens, and gave off this air of supposed greatness. Just what would the vast expanse of space look like through this thing? Or was this mindset just the emotional outcome of completing such a large project?
課題の動きを試すんで離れてください。
Kaisuke, members of the Morimusawa Club, and I all worked on testing the frame's mobility. Since we were unable to set the frame on a tripod, it was set directly on the ground. And while it was hard enough to support the giant Thomsonian, it also had to work as an altazimuth and rotate on 2 axes. Smooth movement and moderate resistance was necessary if we wanted to find and track celestial bodies. Seems pretty good to me. What do you think?
多少ムラがありますが、スムーズすぎもしないし、有害点ではないとか。
All of this was Kazuki's handwork, and maybe there was some tech school pride on the line here or something. To me, the frame seemed better than anything I could have imagined. Korona whispers to herself as she watched it move from east to west, up and down.
やっぱり大砲みたいだ。
おっきな鏡がついてるからソーラーレイって感じだね。
It was definitely something that could move anyone's boyish heart. It brought back memories of the first time I saw one and how badly I wanted to build it.
そうだ、この子に名前つけようよ。動物ちゃんみたいなさ。
Hickory definitely seemed proud of her idea, but after looking at everyone's faces, I think she was the only one.
いや、動物ちゃんは例えだから、もっと可愛いのとかかっこいいのとか。いいですね。その方が愛着が出そう。しかしロブちゃんじゃないとなると、ロブちゃんが第一候補だったみたいな言い方しないで。つら星の会だから、むっちゃん、むつみさん。
いかつい外見に対して可愛すぎません。ここはもっとたくましい感じの名前を。
だったらムツゴロウ。そんなの決まってますわ。
Orihime said right over Noriko.
プレアデス1号なんていかがかしら。プレアデス？ええ、だって今の私たちはムツラ星ではなく7つの星の集まったプレアデスですから。
She said this while winking at Korona. Korona couldn't help but smile back brightly at her.
決まりですね。
いいと思うよ。特に1号ってのがいいね。2号3号と続きそうで。
The name Pallades included not only the 6 schools that were part of our group, but also our special member Korona. It would also make a great story for future members. It was the start of a new age for the Six Stars Club.
よかったね、コロナ。
With that, we went back to adjusting the optical axis. With the centering eyepiece, we worked to align the optical axis of the primary lens and the secondary lens. If we didn't get this lined up, the image would be all distorted and, or even worse, we might not be able to see anything at all. This was one of the most important steps in setting up a reflecting telescope.
お天気持ちますかね。
Noriko said, looking up at the skies while she watched us work. It was starting to get a little cloudy. The forecast said it'll get cloudy this afternoon, but should clear up tonight. Likelihood of rain was supposed to be 0% straight through till tomorrow afternoon.
油断は禁物ですよ。
そうそう。天気予報の晴れと私らの晴れは違うんだから。
That was true. Normal clear skies and the sort of clear skies you need for astronomy are quite different. Even when the skies look clear, haze and fluctuating conditions can really distort the light. In the meantime, we managed to get up the optical axis lined up. That wasn't the last of our work. We had other stuff to get ready aside from the Dodsonian itself, like the tents for one. We set up mine and the ones from the members of Nishai High borrowed from the camping club at their school. Then we set up a folding table and also borrowed so that we'd have a place to sit and eat at. All right, we can pull some sheets if need be, but for now, I'd say we're good. Monica used a tablet to check through our list.
はい、これにて準備完了です。ねえ、みんなで記念写真撮ろうよ。私らのクレアデス1号と一緒にさ。
いいですね。トリコロナ、アキニーの隣。あんたはちっこいんだから全部下。
ほら、姫さん真ん中来ないよ。
いえ、私は結局大した役にも立てず、皆さんにほとんどの役目を押し付けてしまったのに。
何言ってんのさ、らしくない。
私たちの会長さんじゃないですか。そうですか。じゃあ
She eagerly took a spot right in the middle of everyone. The members of the Six Stars Club lined up in front of our Dobsonian.
準備いい？行くよ。
Naru ran over to join us just as she sat the camera on a tripod and pressed the shutter button.
まだですの？
セルフタイマーだからもうすぐだよ。ほら笑って。
会長、笑顔が引きつっています。だって嘘、今私
いい記念写真になったんじゃない？
ジーノさん、撮り直しを要求します。ジーノさん。
Orihime cried out in vain as Naru laughed while checking the screen one last time before putting the camera right. I was curious as to what kind of face Orihime was making during the photo. Once the picture was finished, Hanukkah went over tonight's program. This was going to be a public event, so there was a ton of stuff we had to keep in mind.
私からは以上です。では会長、最後に何か一言どうぞ。
Orihime stepped forward as if she had been awaiting this very moment. The look on everyone's face said that there would be a long speech ahead.
皆様、今日という素晴らしい日を迎えられたのは、ひとえに皆様の協力と団結のおかげですわ。改めて感謝の意を述べさせていただきます。本当にありがとうございました。
だかららしくないって。
僕らは自分たちのやりたいことをしたまでです。
そうですよ。私たちこそ白鳥さんに感謝してます。
We would never have come together if it weren't for Orihime. The clubs at our schools had been out of touch, but she had gotten us connected again. She had worked hard for a group. However, she just shook her head.
至らぬ私を皆さんが支えてくれました。とりわけ空見くんには感謝の言葉もないくらい。
I didn't really do anything. I hadn't been expecting to get called out like that.
それにあなた方の惑星観測ノート、あれには感動しました。星空を見上げる楽しさが詰まったノートは、私が目指すむつら星の会の理想の姿のようで。
I think you're being a bit too generous. We all laughed awkwardly at her sudden praise.
いいえ、私がむつら星の会を蘇らせようと行動を起こしたこの時に、あなたとあなたのかつての仲間たちがいてくれたことは星の巡り合わせ。私は運命を感じずにはいられないのです。ああ、まあそうなのかも。光さん、あなたとこうして天文活動を共にできたこと、今夜一緒に星を見られること、心から嬉しく思うわ。
Hickory's expression changed as she quickly looked up and realized what Orihime meant. Orihime knew that Hickory was leaving.
私も嬉しいです。今この時、むつら星の会っていう私の居場所がここにあってくれたことが、ここにいるみんなと星を見られることが。
Everyone looked pleased or even bashful at Hickory's words. Though our club was once close to being disbanded, our Dobsonian project had finally brought us all close together as the new Six Stars Club. Hickory looked around at everyone, growing bashful herself, and pat Saya on the shoulder.
ありがとね、戻ってきてくれて。光こそ。
And then she looked at me.
一緒に見ようね、あの望遠鏡でさ。 途中だった私たちの銀河旅行の続きしよう。
We should make it farther out than ever before this time, with the help of our new Pallades 1.
それでは一度解散いたしましょうか。観測会の開始時間まで自由行動ということで。
These words are all it took to loosen up the tension building in the air.
よし、オリオン座バックに整形写真撮るぞ。今のうちにロケハンやるよ。一年たちついといて。
待ってくださいよ部長。この場所からどんな風に星座が見えるか。そうっすね部長。楽しみっす。
Everyone was headed off with their club members from their schools. Well, I've got work until tonight. What is everyone else up to?
私はね、サヤン家に遊びに行く。夕飯もお呼ばれするんだ。
光が来るって言ったらお母さんおでん炊いてくれたよ。
マジで？やったー！サヤン家のおでん。
I was so jealous I couldn't even begin to hide it.
あきとくんの分も後で持ってくね。光が全部食べちゃわなかったら。
おってうー、おってう
It didn't look like I would have a chance. There is a natural phenomenon called twilight. It's when the sun had already set, but the skies are still lit with a soft glow. It's a result of rays of sunlight from beyond the horizon reflecting in the dust and water particles of the air and getting scattered around. There are 3 stages to twilight. First, there's cephalotwilight twilight. This is when the sky is still bright. Next is nautical twilight, when the stars begin to emerge, but it's still light enough to make out where the sky and the sea meet. And last is astronomical twilight. At this stage, the sun's light is no longer visible, and the sky is almost completely dark. You can see the dimmest 6-magnitude stars with the naked eye. Astronomical observations can only be made after astronomical twilight. After the last traces of the day fade away and true night emerges. The area in front of Mikazaki Station was abuzz with activity. A number of young school kids were out in the plaza, a sight not normally seen here. They were all here to join our event.
あー、もう食べらんない。
Hickory had shown up early and was lying on the counter in the cafe corner, rubbing her stomach.
食べ過ぎだよ。
だってもう一生食べられないかもしれないんだもん、サヤンちのおでん。
大げさね。ずっと向こうにいるわけじゃないんでしょ。
もう
ごめんね、あきとくん。
No, it's a miracle that there's any left at all, really. Saya brought me a piece of konnyaku, some chikuwa, and 1 slice of potato. That would be enough for a side dish tonight.
よろしいでしょうか。
Hanukkah came up to the counter with a basket full of food and drinks, all stuff for tonight. There was also stuff for event guests, so it was a pretty impressive amount. While I was busy scanning things, more and more had begun gathering. It was cold outside, and there was nothing much to do, so most made their way inside.
タケじゃん、来たんだ。
光。
なにその反応。
こんばんは、たけくん。
よ、天の川。今日はよろしくな。
Takeichi was another one of our guests. Take, good timing. Can you carry some of this stuff for us? There was way too many bags for the girls to make it up the mountain with without breaking their backs.
いえ、私が自分で。
ああ、いいぜ。
He grabbed the bags as if they didn't weigh a thing.
ありがとうございます。よし。それでこそ、ジンノさんにもアピールできるってもんだよね。
お前がなんでそれを。
He turned to look at me. But I just ignored him and took care of the next customer in line.
あきとめ。
心配しなさんなって。この私がキューピッドになってあげるから。
やめろ、マジでやめてくれ。
幼馴染でしょ、遠慮すんなよ。
遠慮じゃねえよ。見てわかんねえのか。
あったけ、いいところに。
Our teacher peeked out from the back of the store and came rushing out at the sight of Takeichi.
先生、チーズ。なんすか？
あんたには貸しがあったわよね。3年生の時、あんたがおしっこ漏らしたの、みんなには黙っててやったでしょ。
あんたおしっこ漏らしたの？え、そうなんだ。
今言っちゃったじゃん。黙ってた意味ねえじゃん。貸しって言ったら、こないだ貸したゲーム、早く返してくださいよ。俺まだ。
カジノにハマってて、進んでない。
いいからさっさとクリアしろ。
ちまちまレベル上げとか、お金稼いだりとか、面倒なんだもん。
Just as lazy in the game world as in the real world, I thought.
それより、今晩、店番変わってくんない？あんた、どうせ暇でしょ。
Takeichi turned up his nose at our former teacher, begging him, taking to him. The whole "you're not busy" thing was a pretty low blow, too, on Christmas Eve of all nights.
店番やれって母さんがうるさいのよ。顧問なんだって言っても聞いてくんなくて。あんた星なんか興味ないでしょ。お願い、この通りだから。
俺、今夜は大事な人と過ごすんで。
Takeichi said this with a determined look on his face.
やはり私の出番か。
ねえから出番。とにかく無理なんで他当たってください。
無理です無理です。
Saya shook her head furiously as their eyes met. Those pleading eyes passed over Hickory, me, Hanukkah, and all the rest of the random people here, but no one offered.
孝太郎。
This cash register wasn't made for paws. Though you occasionally heard about dogs running those tiny cigarette shops. You shouldn't have been playing games on the job in the first place, right? That's the real reason she couldn't go out. She was grounded like a child. You have to work it out with the manager.
イブの夜に娘を家に閉じ込めておこうなんて。だから今期が遅れるのよ。
She complained and hung her head. But things were starting to get really busy outside the store. At just a quick glance, I counted around 20 people. There was a few faces I recognized from school. Some of the members of Nishai that lent us the tents, and some of the kids from the other schools. Oh, there you are, President.
やあ、空見くん。メリークリスマス受験の息抜きにね。
He looked at me with a smile on his face.
ところで、そろそろその部長というのをやめてくれないかな。今の僕はただの一階の受験生さ。
If we ever get any new members, I'll think about it. Hey, you look pretty worn out.
君も再来年になればわかるよ。
Well, I hope the stars out there tonight put some light back in those eyes.
ありがとう。そうさせてもらうよ。
人がいっぱい。天の川さん、どこかしら。
あ、いました。ほら、あそこ。
ほらコタちゃん、そんなに吠えないの。
What's the matter, Saya?
人が大勢いるからコタちゃんが興奮しちゃって。
Just let him be. He'll get tired of barking soon anyway.
アキト君は来るの後になるんだよね。
Yep, can't clock out just yet. I asked the manager to let me off early tonight, and though I still wouldn't make it in time for the start, the night was long. Go on ahead, make sure Hickory doesn't get out of hand.
任せといて。
I gave her a little wave and walked away. Then
天の川さん。
some girl I didn't recognize was calling out to Saya.
部長さん、こんばんは。こんばんは。天の川さん、あなたすごいのね。何がですか？男子と親しげに会話をしていたじゃない。そうですか？
These must be the girls that were using the Sison Girls Astronomy Club as a cover for their comics club. Saya invited them out to try and get them into astronomy. But it looks like they came out just to admire and praise her. I guess it's just what going to an old school screwer is like. Greetings could be heard throughout the crowd. 5 minutes or so after everyone had gathered, Hanukkah called everyone's attention. They quieted down and gave her it.
今夜は、むつら星の会主催の天体観測会にお越しいただき、ありがとうございます。はじめまして、明光学院天文部部長の吉岡です。これから観測地へ向かいますが、暗いですので、くれぐれも足元に気をつけてください。それから、向こうでは我々の注意を守って、勝手な行動は慎むようお願いします。
All the six Stars Club members were lined up and their hands raised so everyone knew who to listen to. There were some first years from Nishai and Mori Misawa, beside myself, Hickory, and the others.
今夜の観測会のテーマは、クリスマスイブの星空です。
Everyone got restless at the words Christmas Eve. It was the same sky as any other night, but those words seemed to add an extra layer of excitement.
星座や星の解説をさせていただくほか、私たちが自作した天体望遠鏡で肉眼では見えない天体を見ていただく予定です。
You'll also get the chance to use the telescope that we made as to see parts of space you can't see with your naked eye. You could hear people muttering in disbelief when they heard we made a telescope ourselves. I guess it was our natural reaction, though. To the average person, it probably didn't seem like the sort of thing you could make yourself. Even we didn't think so at first.
出発の前にまずはここで一つクリスマス名物の星を紹介させていただきます。北西の空をご覧ください。
Everyone turned to where Hanukkah was
あ
pointing.
そこに十字に星が並んでいるのがわかりますか？
They all muttered to each other as we tried to find them. Those who knew, or who spotted them first, started helping the others out until it seemed as if everyone had found
あ
it.
れを北十字星ノーザンクロスと言います。
A voice from the crowd asked if that was the constellation of
そ
Cygnus.
の通り白鳥座です。夏の星座である白鳥座はクリスマスイブのこの時間帯、頭を下へ抜けて地上に突き立つように沈んでいきます。その姿が十字架に見えることからノーザンクロスと呼ぶわけです。
During the summer months, Cygnus holds Albiero in its beak. But on Christmas, just around that time, it is known instead as the Northern Cross. It was named to be opposite the Southern Cross in the Southern Hemisphere. It was just a little special something for the astronomy fans around Christmas time. I wondered if these people felt any sort of reverence when looking up at the cross in the Christmas Eve sky.
では出発の前に注意事項を説明します。現地に着いたらライトの使用を極力控えるよ。
どうしてですか？
暗さに目を慣らすためです。
Our eyes don't let us see anything if we're suddenly thrown into the dark, but give them some time and they will adjust. And even the opposite is true. When you come out of a long, dark tunnel, it'll take your eyes some time to get used to the new how bright it is outside. That's because our eyes are made to adjust to the light levels around us. Unfortunately, while they can adjust to light in 40 to 40 seconds to a minute, they take 30 minutes or more to fully adjust to the dark. This is what we call light/dark adaptation. If you want to see the stars with your own eyes, the dark adaptation is incredibly important. There's a whole world of difference in what you can see before and after your eyes have adjusted.
ライトをつけてしまうとせっかく暗さに慣れた目が元に戻ってしまいます。
Even if you spend half an hour getting used to the dark, if someone turns on a light, your eyes will reset to it in just a matter of seconds.
暗さに慣れた目で見る星空は本当に綺麗です。ご協力をお願いします。
それじゃあ真っ暗になっちゃうんじゃないですか？
ご心配には及びません。明かりが必要な時はこちらで用意したこの赤いセロファンがついた懐中電灯を使ってください。
Hanukkah turned on one of the lights covered in red, and just as you'd expect, gave off a red light.
なんで赤いのならいいんだ？
Red light is easy on the eyes. It doesn't bother your adjusted eyes as much.
また吹きさらしの場所なので夜が深まるとかなり冷え込んでくると思います。寒くなったら無理せずテントに入るか森の向こうにある廃車両の基地へ行ってください。場所はお手元のプログラムに書いてあります。
勝手に行き来すると危ないんで、天文部員の誰かに声かけて連れてってもらってくださいね。
Hickory piped in for an extra comment. If any of you need hand warmers or anything, be sure to drop in the convenience store here to pick them up before you go. As soon as these words were out of my mouth, a number of people went into the store. Looks like we'll be able to make our sales goals.
それでは先に行ってますね、スラミくん。
Hi, I'll catch up with you guys later.
じゃあね、アキト。また後でね。
Sure thing. Keep an eye out on them, Keitake.
Oh,
He was carrying all the stuff I asked him to, even cyan hickory stuff. As a result of the basketball team, he definitely had some strength to him.
それでは出発します。遅れずについてきてください。
Following Hanukkah, everyone made their way to our observatory. Huh? This one's from Saya.
月もないし、空気も霞んでなくて、星がすごくよく見えるよ。
The event had already kicked off, and everyone kept messaging me about it. I'm sure they are just thinking of me, but this is just making the wait even worse. I shoved my phone into my pocket with a sigh. There were only 30 more minutes until my shift was up, and celestial bodies were shifting all the while, ever so slightly. No one mentioned the Dobsonian, though. I wonder if it even works. Maybe I should have asked someone. Nah, I don't think it would help me to relax, no matter what the answer. If they were able to use it, I would just feel more jealous. And if they weren't, something went wrong, I definitely would be able to handle the weight. And I wouldn't really be doing my job either. I wonder what it would look like with an even larger telescope. We all had such big, wild imaginations as kids. We talk about what we'd do if we owned the Hubble, even though there was no chance in the world that would ever happen. Even still, I thought about hooking an eyepiece into it and looking through it with my own eyes. I would even think of how hard it would be to keep a posture and look through an eyepiece in space. I didn't think there was anything that the Hubble couldn't see. The Hubble was definitely an impressive telescope, but it wasn't able to see to the end of space. It wasn't quite the ultimate telescope that I'd always dreamed it was. Even back then, the ALMA was uncovering a number of mysteries of space. I just didn't realize back then that there were different kinds of telescopes, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. How would our hunk of junk, Pallades 1, hold up? What in the cosmos would that big beast show us? I still don't even know if we can see anything with it. We'd made it ourselves, though, so I was sure it would not be going to be the best quality, but that just meant it might give us a different look than what we were used to. How would it feel looking through that telescope? Would I switch from an astronomer who never looks at the stars to just a normal astronomy club member again?
あら、空見くん、まだいたの？
The manager seemed surprised to see me. What do you mean still? I could see the clock and it clearly wasn't time to go yet.
ごめんね、気がつかなくて。ミハル、ちょっと来なさい。ミハル。
There was no reply.
ったく、しょうがない子だよ。
Oh, Miss Miharu is acting as our advisor, so...
いいんだよ。うちのバカ娘のことは気にせず、言っといで。
She said as she began fixing her apron. But, I mean, I've been cutting down my hours as it is already. I'm just causing you more trouble.
子供が余計な気遣いするんじゃないよ。あんたにはいつもよく働いてもらってるんだから。さあ、行った行った。
Okay, arigatou gozaimasu. I'll head right out now then.
はいよ。気をつけていくんだよ。
And so I made my way out, a little earlier than expected, all the while feeling a little bad for our teacher. The skies were just as clear as Saya's text said. It couldn't have been a more perfect night for stargazing.
じゃあ次は冬のダイヤモンドをたどってみましょう。オリオン座の右下の星リゲル、そこから冬の大三角のシリウス、プロキオンとつなぎ双子座のポルックスをたどって。
Then if we follow Pollux from the Gemini constellation... Kaiseki from Orihime Korona knew a lot about the positions of the constellations, and his absolute love of astronomy really came through in the way he spoke and captured our guest's attention. He's even captured my attention.
一等星、二等星という言葉を聞いたことがあると思います。星の明るさを表す言葉ですが、最も明るい星を一等星、肉眼で見えるギリギリ暗い星を六等星としています。
The stars that you can just barely see with your naked eyes are 6 magnitude.
六等星までの星の数はおよそ8600個。全点で合わせて目に見える星が8600個あるってことです。そのうち一等星は21個しかありません。
And of those, only 21 are first magnitude stars.
そのたった21個のうち7つの一等星が冬の空に輝いています。
Pulled in by Kaiseki's explanation, I turned my now adjusted eyes to the skies and took in the beauty of the stars of winter. Sirius, Betelgeuse, Procyon, Rachel, Pollux, Capella, Aldebaran. But not just the well-known first magnitude stars either. The skies were littered with stars of all brightness and colors. They were both beautiful and overwhelming.
どうですか？冬の星空は華やかでしょ？
これだから冬の星見はやめられないんだよね。
Hickory had come up beside me and I stared off into space listening to Kaiseki speak from afar.
最初の頃はなんでこんな寒い季節にわざわざ星なんか見るんだって言ってたけどね。
Yes, you did. We all laughed thinking back on those days. We didn't know then that you could see different stars in different seasons back then.
一度すごく星が綺麗な夜があったよね。
あったね。あれ、何だったんだろうね。
It was one night after the three of us had been out just a few times.
もう帰ろうよ。
Yeah, let's go. There was no big show going on in the skies, and the day-to-day changes were hardly noticeable. I had grown sick of watching the skies day after day. Plus, I was frozen right down to the bone and couldn't really take it anymore. But then it happened it appeared overhead. We had been so busy watching our footing that we hadn't really even checked on the skies on our way up. But then up there, with our eyes fully adjusted, we saw the brightest starlight sky we'd ever seen.
何これ。
Amazing. We couldn't help staring upwards, mouths agape. It was like the stars were exponentially brighter than usual, lighting up the whole sky. The whole sky seemed like some grand illusion. I trembled not from the cold, but because of a strange fear that arose from inside me.
もうちょっと見てよよ。
Yeah. We huddled together to stay warm and continued watching the skies.
あれ以来、あんな夜空には出会ってないね。本当なんだったんだろうね。
Either the conditions were unimaginably perfect that night, or we were just so worn from the climb, and the cold that our senses were unusually sharp. Even now, I still didn't really understand it. But ever since that day, whether we known it or not, we continued to try and find that sky once more.
遅いね。何やってんだろう。もうバイト終わってる時間だよね。そうだね。
I already sent a bunch of texts, but still no reply. It looked like Hickory was getting sulky for the same reason.
早乙女先生が店番変わってくれないのかな。あり得るね。先生、働くの嫌いだから。ねえ、天文部の人、手作り望遠鏡ってまだなの？
もう少々お待ちください。まだメンバーが揃っていませんので。
Hanukkah was busy taking care of our guests. Naru from Nishai High seemed to be growing impatient, though.
ねえ、もう始めちゃわない？そんなのダメよ。 全員揃ってからじゃないと。でも来ないじゃんね。
そうですね。ドブソニアン目当てに来ている人もいるので、あまり待たせすぎるわけには。
Keisuke gave a wonderful explanation for the constellations and other stars, but people seem to be growing a little restless at the unchanging skies.
電話に出てくれません？
どうしたんだろう、アッキに。
He shouldn't have been here already, and everyone was getting a little worried. Hickory, still next to me, spoke up.
あいつちゃんと来るかな。どうして？来るよ。だって楽しみにしてたじゃない。うん。でも。
I checked my phone again, but he still hadn't texted me back. Geez, would everyone just give me a break here? My phone kept buzzing nonstop. I just let it be and continued my climb up the slope. I could hear people's voices carried over the wind. It sounded like they were having a good time.
どうせ俺なんかくそ
Ah!
もう
I thought I heard some demonic mumbling in the darkness, and it turned out to be Takeichi. He was sitting in the dark with his arms around his knees, looking at the ground instead of the stars above. Hey, what's up, Take?
そっとしといてくれ。
Okay. He could be kind of a pain, so I figured I'd just leave him be. After I walked a little bit further, I could see all the main members of the Six Stars Club gathered in a circle. They seemed like they were discussing something serious. Did something happen? Hey!
あ、来た。アキトくん、無事でしたわ。
Huh? Everyone looked at me with such joy or surprise that I had no idea what was going on.
遅いっつーの。
でも無事でよかったです。
Wait, safely?
連絡しても繋がらないから、てっきり夜道で何かあったのかと。途中でダムもありますし、あそこ夜中は幽霊が出るとか。
うん、出るよ。引きずり込まれるってお母さんが言ってた。
So you guys are all gathered up like that because you were worried about me? I said it jokingly, but no one seemed to share my attitude. They stared silently. Sorry to worry you, but as you can see, I'm fine. What took you so long? Oh, that's sad.
何してたの？
The stars were just so nice I couldn't help but look at them while I walked. I guess my pace was a bit slower than I thought.
なんで返事返さないのよ。
And look at my phone after my eyes had finally adjusted? No way! Everyone let out a deep sigh. I guess they weren't kidding. They were actually worried about me. Komenasai. I figured I might as well apologize once more. Everyone was upset that I hadn't responded, but they didn't yell. I guess they were astronomy club members too and could understand my reasoning. I gave Hickory a quick elbow. Hey, Hickory, what did you do to Take?
何って何もしてないわよ。
Come on, I saw him sitting like a zombie out there on my way up.
ああ、あれね。
光のせいじゃないよ。
Saya signaled my attention with her eyes.
先輩、撮影の方どうします？やっ
しばらくこっち忙しいから、カメラ好きに使っていいよ。
た。
It looked like Naru and that first year were getting along pretty well. I had always assumed they were close, but... I see. I guess she had a boyfriend. That must have been what set Takeichi off.
私が出て行くまでもなかったわ。
It was probably best that it went down this way anyway. Anyway, the skies are really clear tonight, huh? Reminds me of way back when. You remember that night here, when the stars looked more beautiful than ever? Saya and Hickory gave each other weird looks. Well, Nani?
別？
They sure seemed happy about something.
全員揃いましたし、遅くなりましたが、始めましょうか。そうですわね。
Oh, wait, where are we starting? I had one of tonight's programs and I wasn't sure there was nothing set to start at this time.
なんでって、そんなの決まってます。
She turned around as she spoke.
ファーストライトですわ。
Nani? You still haven't started? It should have started an hour after everyone got here.
あんたが来ないから始められなかったんでしょうが。
Naru seemed a little irked. But wait, I told you to start without me. I definitely told them not to wait. I had been at work with the first light had been scheduled to start.
やっぱりみんな揃ってやりたいじゃないですか。
If I had known, I would have made my way up here a lot faster.
皆様、長らくお待たせいたしました。これより私たちが自作した天体望遠鏡プレアデス1号のファーストライトを始めます。
Everyone gathered to her call.
空見さん、いいですか？
Hi. Kaisuke and I pulled off the sheet we used to cover it this afternoon. The still frame of the telescope cast its silhouette against the starlit sky. The crowd was abuzz with talk and the strange sight of it. I heard a lot of people say that it looked like a cannon, just like Korona.
初めて目にする皆様が驚かれるのも無理はありません。しかしこの子はれっきとした天体望遠鏡ですわ。ドブソニアンという種類の自作望遠鏡です。レンズではない鏡を利用した反射望遠鏡でとてもシンプルな構造をしています。
There was an explanation of how it was built in the pamphlet, so some people probably already knew.
教頭はこのように省略し、このフレームの部分には自転車のホイールと鉄パイプを組み合わせ、課題も廃材を再利用。試供は
Even the base is made of recycled parts, and the primary mirror is. Hanukkah looked at Orihime.
何でしたっけ？何だったかしら。
Naru and Kaisuke kind of tilted their heads to the side.
何だったかな。
Korona looked over to me for help. Hikari and I then looked to Saya, and soon enough all eyes were on her. Saya winced, but still answered.
Ancient evil eye.
Everyone seemed a little surprised at the lame name, but Hanukkah just continued as if nothing happened.
と名付けられたガラスを磨いて制作しました。なんで私に言わせるの？っていうかいる？今の説明必要だった？要するにほとんどのパーツが廃材の再利用によって賄われているのです。エコロジーですわ。本日の観測会はこのプレアデス1号のファーストライト、つまり初めてこの天体望遠鏡で星の光を見てみることが真の目的なのです。それではファーストライト開始。
At Orihime's command, everyone sprung into action. Not that it was any kind of exciting sort of action. First, the parts were re-examined and the optical axis was adjusted as necessary. Then we decided on a target and began our search for it.
まずは何がいいかしら。今の時間だとここはやっぱクリスマスツリー星団でしょう。どこにあるのでしょう。一角十座のそばだから。
Once our target was set, we just had to aim the finder scope at it. Dobsonians also needed finder scopes, and so I pulled the finder off my telescope and attached it to the Pleiades 1. Once the finder was fixed, we just had to adjust the focus of the eyepiece. It was a Newtonian telescope, so the eyepiece was in the front of the lens barrel. Dobsonians were so big that depending on the angle, you would need to climb up to see it though.
まず誰から見るの？そんなの決まってますわ。
Everyone looked at me. Wait, why me?
この望遠鏡制作に携わった人の中で一番の功労者にファーストライトの栄誉をと思いまして。
Oh, come on, I didn't really... I was hoping someone else would step in and take credit, but no one did.
アキニ、早く。
Korona pulled me over to the telescope.
さあ、どうぞですわ。空見くん、どうぞ。
え
早くしなよ。後が使えてるんだよ。
Ugh. They weren't going to let me say no. So I just turned through with it and climbed up. Okay, fine. This is what I had been looking forward to. I felt bad that the first look was going to be taken by me, the astronomer who never looks at the stars. But really, I was quite thrilled. Here goes. The eyepiece was right in front of me, and on the other end of that, space itself. Space as it can only be seen from this telescope.
どうぞ。
早く早く。
I went to look through, but then froze up.
どうしたの？
何かトラブルですか？
I climbed back down without saying a word. I really think somebody else should go first.
どうして？
Everyone, Stars Club members and gathered guests alike, watched me with a puzzled expression. I just laughed it off and headed to the end of the line. I guess everyone just sort of gave up after that, and they picked a new order instead. People made their way in and out of the train car to warm up. I boiled some water on the portable stovetop and made some instant noodles. That would be dinner for our guests. Besides, you can't stay warm without some food in your stomach. Food's ready. Two girls came up and each took a cup. Careful, it's really hot.
ありがとうございます。
温かい。
The girl held the warm styrofoam cup with both hands to warm herself. She was pretty cute. Enjoying the stars tonight?
はい。星ってこんなに綺麗なんですね。今日来てみてよかったです。
She said that with a smile and headed back inside with her friend. All our guests were friends and acquaintances of Six Stars Club members. If any of them started to have any interest in astronomy at all, the event would be considered a success. I turned my head to the sound of a familiar bark.
見ちゃった。
Miss Miharu.
よその女の子にデレデレしてるとこ見ちゃったわ。これはさやたちにチクらないとな。
She laughed with an evil sort of laugh as she made her way onto the platform with Kotaru. I was in no mood for her jokes and just sighed. Why are you here anyway? How had she convinced the manager to let her out?
小太郎の散歩だって言って出てきた。嘘はついてないもん。
Yeah, I see all right. She really was a kid. Kotaru seemed really worked up about being someplace new, so I begged him to calm him down. You sure are warm, eh?
へえ、こんなのが残ってたんだね。
She looked around the train car illuminated in the starlight.
ここがあんたたちの？
Yep, this was our secret observatory.
教師時代に知ってたら出入りを禁止にしてたところだわ。
Yeah, we figured as much. That's why we kept it secret.
これだからガキどもは油断ならないのよ。でもそっか。こんなところであんたたちはいつも星を見てたんだね。いいところね。
She laughed, and it really brought back memories. You want some?
お、いいね。観測会っつったらカップ麺だよね。
I poured some of the boiled water into a noodle cup for her. Here, this is for you. I opened up one of the packages of sandwiches and let Kotaru have at it.
いただきまーす。
I'm not sure if that's instant, you know.
いいのいいの。ちょっと硬いのがうまいんだから。
She said as she started slurping up the only partially boiled noodles.
これよこれ。懐かしい味だわ。
She watched me as I watched Kotaru devour his sandwich.
大丈夫かい？
I was going to try and avoid her question, but I decided not to. I guess you could already tell. I'm really such a wimp, huh? I guess I just never realized how big of a wimp I am. She didn't have to... She didn't seem to have the right words for the moment, so she just focused on her noodles. She must have crossed paths with Hickory and the others before coming up here, and probably heard the story. So she knows why I'm sulking around over here.
聞いたよ、ほうき星のこと。またすぐにいなくなっちゃうんだってね。ほんと忙しい子だね。
She had been laughing, but one look at my face had caught her laughter short. I could tell without even looking straight at her that she was trying desperately to find something to say. She was worried about what she could even say to me. She was always like that, getting too caught up in things. It's probably why she wasn't cut out to be a teacher. But it's also what made her made me like her as a teacher too. I thought it might be okay. But as soon as I realized I was just about to set my eyes on the stars, I got scared all of a sudden, and before I knew it, I had stepped down from the telescope. I had figured it would be a problem to start with. I actually could have had the day off of work, but I didn't take it on purpose. I'd wanted the event to start without me. I'd wanted everyone to have their fun, then show up when things were settling down, and maybe just have a quick peek through the Pallades one. The whole reason I took so long getting here after work was kind of on purpose too.
前に言ってたじゃない。星を見てると不安になるって。あれ、ちょっとわかるわ。
Her eyes drew a little tighter, looking almost sad.
星に手は届かない。子供の頃はさ、いざとなったら空だって飛べるって思ってたりしたわよね。そう思っていれば平気で渡れる吊り橋も、実は翼なんてないって気がついちゃったら、足が震えて一歩も前へ進めなくなる。星に手は届かない。それに気づいてしまったら、夜空を見上げるのさえ怖くなる。
But once you set your eyes on this beautiful, expensive sky, you recognize the overwhelming void that stands between you and it.
別に宇宙へ行きたいわけじゃない。実際に手に触れたいわけじゃない。でしょ？
I never wanted to be an astronaut or anything like that. What I was after was more fantastical. Something that didn't really exist anywhere but in stories. That's exactly why it was so frustrating.
どんなに望んでも、結局は手が届かない遠い場所。でもね。
She looked up to the sky so suddenly that I couldn't help but follow her gaze. The brilliance of the winter stars showered down on me.
光は届いてるよ。だから見えるんだ。
Their light made the journey? Miss Maharo nodded.
どんなに遠くても、どんなに時間がかかっても、星が光を放つ限り、私たちはその存在をこうして感じることができる。だからあの星たちは空想でもおとぎ話でもないんだよ。
She squinted her eyes a bit, giving those stars a good long look, as if she was looking over someplace far away and up in the sky.
あんたの光は今、手の届く場所にいるじゃないか。
My own star? Kotaro's ears suddenly perked up and he started barking. And right at the same time, a girl came running out of the woods. Her hair flying like a twin-tailed comet, she came running up on the platform.
Akita!
Hickory, what's the matter?
プレアデス1号が変なの。
What?
急に焦点が合わなくなって、それで。
She was exasperated and out of breath, which made her explanation broken and rushed. She got me all worked up, too. And before I knew it, I was on my feet. Can you watch over things here?
はいよ。
I ran out, leaving a gasping Hickory behind as I ran through the woods. Once I made it there, everyone was gathered around the telescope with gloomy looks on their faces. Our guests all stood at a distance watching them.
なんかしらけるね。
I made my way through the crowd.
秋田くん
Hickory already filled me in. I wasted no time getting up to check out the mirror box. It might be distorted because of the cold. Matter expands and when warms, when contracts when cold. Your normal store-bought telescope would be equipped with the low expansion glass, but ours was made with glass from a decoration. It was also a whopping 40 centimeters in diameter, so it was even more susceptible to this kind of thing. Left out here in the cold, I wouldn't have been surprised if it had contracted. Doesn't look cracked or anything. As far as I can tell, there didn't seem to be any problem I could point out just by looking. Maybe the optical axis is off?
いえ、それは確かめましたが、ずれていませんでした。
Then wait.
焦点が合わず像がぼやけてしまうのよ。
I stood up on the mount. Here, someone hold this thing.
任せて
Korona came up and supported the frame so it didn't move. I looked through the eyepiece. All I could see through it was a blurry, incoherent mess. It's like way out of focus. The most likely explanation was distortion due to the change in temperature. It looked like using normal glass was really a bad idea after all. I worked on adjusting the focus a bit. Our Pallades one wasn't quite as easy to put into focus as a retail telescope, though. Something started to come through. The bright blur slowly turned into something similar and more pointed, but
どう
今いいところですわ。
I saw it. Everything came into focus, and the expanses of space stood right before my eyes. The faint sparkling light of countless stars came shining through. This celestial body. Is this the Christmas tree cluster? I couldn't help but speak out loud.
メリークリスマスですわ。
メリークリスマス秋にメリークリスマ
I stood up there dumbfounded, looking back at everybody. Everyone's worn, sullen faces were suddenly lit with smiles and
ド
smirks.
ッキリ大成功だね。
Still not quite getting what was going on, I turned toward Hickory. She stood there together with Saya, gesturing sorry to me. You guys! Then I realized that it wasn't just the Six Stars Club members, but other guests were laughing too. Even the person who was complaining about being bored moments ago. Was everyone in on this?
スごめんこうでもしないと見てくれないと思ってどうかなクレアデス1号で見る空は
It was... How was it? I was so focused on fixing whatever was wrong, I didn't even give it any thought. I had even forgotten how I ran away from the whole thing a short while ago. How did it feel when I focused in on the brilliance of the skies?
綺麗だったでしょ
No, it wasn't anything special, I guess. Everyone looked disappointed at my response. The Christmas tree cluster I saw in my book as a kid was much more colorful. The pale skies you can see through a telescope are nothing compared to the photographs. Plus, our Pallades 1 didn't provide the best image quality, so everything blurred together. But it was still kind of exciting. I played back that feeling from a moment ago. Like I could reach the stars.
光
Are you happy now? Feeling kind of embarrassed standing out in front of everyone, I stepped down, but Orihime stood in my way. She crossed her arms over her voluptuous bosom.
そうはさせませんわ。あなたには心ゆくまで天体を堪能していただきます。
No, really, I've seen enough already.
アキト
Hickory came up and grabbed my hand.
私たちここに不安はみんなで受け止めるから
Everyone gave me encouraging looks, even though they didn't really seem interested like Naru. All I wanted to do was run immediately away from this embarrassment, but Orihime didn't look like she'd let up.
ムツラボシの会の目的をお忘れかしら
To spread interest in astronomy and more people and expand the field itself. Orihime's face lit up in agreement.
あなたみたいな天文大好きっ子を逃すわけにはいきません
She puffed out her chest proudly. But the closer I looked, the more I could see a bit of uncertainty creeping through her expression. I could see right through her bluff. She played tough to try and get me to stay there. That's just how kind she was. It suddenly brought back memories. Stargazing brings out the kinder side of people. If only everyone could feel that small bit of light from deep, deep in space, I'm sure the world would be a more peaceful place. I want you to remember that faint light. Grow up to be that kind of person who sees that light that others cannot. That's what my father said to me when he brought me this telescope. That shining light might have been you, Hickory. When was that again? Oh, that was the first time Hickory and I used my telescope together. I had thought my telescope was broken, but Hickory learned how to fix it from Miss Mikaro, and the skies were beautiful that night. The night felt like I was reliving that night with Hickory. I sighed in defeat. Well, if you insist.
やったーそう来なくちゃここにいるみんなはもう存分に楽しんだ後ですから心置きなく銀河旅行を堪能してくださいね
I'll do just that then. Hickory Saya, can you two help me out?
いいよ任せといてコロナも
Arigato. And with that, I took a journey through space. Ladies One didn't provide the best quality image or anything, but it was beautiful nevertheless. And I knew that it was all just a light shining through them from far across the void of space. It was this telescope that we made with our own hands that brought them closer to me. It was our second set of eyes. This big piece of junk, the Ancient One's evil eye, had been transformed into a primary mirror for our Pallades One. And now it captured light from far off into space for us to see. The unsightly collection of junk was our ship to the stars. And now, me and my steadfast crew, we're ready for our journey. Finally home. Back home in the skies. And I wandered off into the endless expanse of it. I returned again to Earth after my trip through the stars. Sitting down on one of the picnic sheets, I watched everyone else as they watched the stars. People were gathered around the Pallades One, but some had also brought their own equipment. Everyone seemed to be enjoying this Christmas Eve sky in their own way.
ソラミ君どうです楽しんでいますか
I must have looked upset, as she also seemed worried. Yeah, of course. They certainly pulled a fast one over on me, but I wasn't upset or anything. If anything, I should probably thank them.
先ほどはすみませんでしたあなたを騙すような真似をしてしまって
No, you don't have to worry about it. If you hadn't, I probably never would have got up there to see the Pallades One.
そう言っていただけると気が楽になりますがやはり何かお詫びをさせてください
I really just wanted to let it all go, but she didn't seem like she would.
ソラミ君プラネタリウムには行ったことは
I went to one way back when I was a kid, but I haven't been to that one. I haven't been to that one down in Harbortown, no. I've been thinking about trying to get down there sometime soon now. We'd finished our Pallades 1 project, so I was sure I could find some time.
でしたら空見くんが行くときには私に案内させてください。
Nani? Was she asking me to go with her?
どうかしました？
No, it's nothing. She was definitely just offering to do it to apologize, that was all. It was best not to take it too seriously. There was no ulterior motive to her invitation. And if I took it the wrong way, I could set myself up for something embarrassing.
それともう一つ、こちらが本題なのですけれど、あなたはこの先どうするつもりなのかしら？
That was enough to pull me back down from the clouds. You figured it out, huh?
さすがに気づくわ。ずっと同じ目的のために作業をしてきたのだもの。
I was the astronomer who never looks at the stars, but I guess it really wasn't a name that fit anyone. I had planned to quit once the timing was right. The club and my school and the Six Stars Club, too.
そうじゃないかと思っていたわ。
She saw right through me. But she waited until she was absolutely sure.
それで今はどう？気持ちは変わらないかしら？
Well, I probably wasn't supposed to have looked through the Pallades 1. I knew what would happen if I looked at the stars again. I had seen them. I had peeked through at that endless expanse of space once again. And just like before, all those emotions had welled up again. There was no turning back from emotions like those.
空見明人くん、あなたをまだマイヤの空見明人と呼んでもいいのかしら？
Maya was the first star of the Pallades cluster. Taking this name would make me the top member of the astronomy club. Orihime Korona of Tayageta, one of the 7 sisters of the Pallades. I will gladly accept the name of Mia.
あなたの意思、しかと受け取りましたわ。空見明人。いいえ、プレアディスの長子、マイヤよ。
Well then.
引き続き天空に輝く七つ星として我そういうことでよかったかしら？
Finishing up our little act, she started to smile. Her smiling face had a wonderful little charm to it. I look forward to us working together.
こちらこそよろしくお願いしますわ。
The magic was over and we were back to normal life. But the whole little play might have been exactly the rite of passage I needed. The eldest of the Pallades, huh? But why did I get the name of the eldest of the 7? Maya was supposed to be the name for the head of the Six Stars Club. But I guess the whole reason I was looking for meaning in this to begin with was, well, just because of Orihime herself.
ねえねえひなみ、そろそろ交代して。まだもうちょっとだけ。ずるい。さっきからひなみんばっか見てるじゃん。
Korona and her friend were fighting over the binoculars. They must have borrowed them from someone. With those, they probably got a completely different look at the stars than from the Pallades.
あ、君だ。
She found me and came running over.
あきにすっごいね。ほんと星ってすっごいね。
She latched hard onto me, seemingly unable to handle her excitement. I know, let's just settle down.
落ち着いてなんかなれないよ。だって星だよ。もうすんごい綺麗なの。
I guess you were pretty excited, huh?
ワクワクした。現在進行形でワクワクしてる。
It looked like getting a real look at the stars set something off in her. Where did you get those binoculars? Her friend was lost, staring through them. They were a bit clunky looking and equipped with a mount to attach a tripod.
あれね。コロナたちが待ち時間長すぎるよって言ってたら、なるちゃんが貸してくれたの。
Naru? I wasn't sure who she was talking about. She always had nicknames for everyone.
なるちゃんはほら、あそこにいるお姉さんだよ。かっこいい感じだけど、すんごく優しいの。
Oh, you mean Naru? Her full name was Naru Jino, but I guess Korona just shortened it to Naru. I guess I should picture her carrying around a pair of binoculars like that. She sure loved her gadgets, and always brought a whole bunch with her. Did she teach you how to use them right?
簡単にだけどね。三脚も貸してもらったんだけど、めんどくさくなっちゃって。
The tripod should make it easier to see things. But that probably seems like a trifling matter for beginners. They just wanted to see some stars. Such a simple desire really brought back memories. I was almost jealous.
双眼鏡は友達に取られちゃったけど、今はこうして自分の目で見ようかなって。
Want to look at some stars with me then? I stood next to her and looked up.
すごいよね。こんなにいっぱい星があるなんて。
You usually can't see this many back in the light of town. But the stars, they're always there. I could hear other people calling out in admiration. If someone was enjoying looking up there at the stars, I was happy no matter who they were. Way back when, I didn't know there were so many stars either.
秋にもなの？
Everyone has to start out somewhere, right? I mean, it was quite a few years ago, but still. I know how you must feel right now, though. I went through the same thing.
そっか。秋にも同じなんだ。
She was going through the same stuff the three of us went through back then. The very thought of that put a smile on her face. Without even looking, I could tell she was happy to finally be catching up.
ね、あれがオリオン座だよね。
Her finger pointed towards Orion's belt, the sort of constellation everybody knew. Yep, you know your stuff, huh?
オリオン座くらい授業で習うもん。このくらいは一般常識だよ。確かベテルギウスとリゲルと、あとは左下の明るい子がシリウスだったっけ？
Exactly, but Sirius is part of Canis Major, though, not Orion.
そうだったそうだった。
She stuck her tongue out. Okay then, do you know the name of that star to the top left of Sirius?
さっき聞いたと思う。
Someone just told you?
しまった。
It looked like she said something she wasn't supposed to.
秋兄が来る前、でっかい人が解説してくれたんだ。それでいろいろ知ってるってわけ。
She was probably talking about Kaisuke. No one else could explain things quite as simply and clearly.
思い出した。アルデバランだ。
Nope, that's Procyon.
もうちょっと真剣に聞いてればよかった。
I wasn't sure if she had been listening or was just uninterested. Aldebaran is over there, the orangest one off of Orion's left arm.
あれがアルデバランなんだ。
And out beyond Aldebaran, you can see those three faint little stars clustered over there.
あ、うん、見えるよ。あれがどうしたの？
That's the Pleiades cluster, Subaru in Japan.
ってことは、六つら星の。
I nodded in response. But it was rare to get a chance to see them like that.
さすがにそれぞれ判別するのは難しいね。ねえ、アキに、コロナのメローペはどれなのかな？
Merope is... You can really only make out the first six with the naked eye. But actually, it's not Merope that you can't see. Still, it's hard to point it out just by looking. No one showed you through the Pleiades one?
うん。コロナは詳しくないから、設定してもらったのを見ただけだし。メローペ、見れないのかな？
Why don't we try with those binoculars you borrowed?
見れるの？
Of course!
やった！メローペなのにメローペ見たことないんじゃかっこ悪いもんね。ひなみー！メローペ見るよ！だから双眼鏡コロナに貸して！
She ran off to get the binoculars back. I was like that once. I couldn't wait for the night to come so that I could start and the stars to shine. When I looked through the telescope, the stars were always there waiting for me. So close, I felt I could reach out to them, but it was too far away that they would never be possible. The astronomer who doesn't look at the stars. If I started watching them again and became a normal club member again, what would happen to me? Would I get those days of old back again, or would my connection with the stars be different this time Either way, the stars were always there above me, and they would continue being there forever and ever. It was a few days after the stargazing event. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end to this video. I thank you for watching with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. It did, again, have a great deal of repetition, but it also had a great deal that was unique to the Orihime/Korona paths, which makes me happy. I've been able to go through the whole thing, even without skipping. So I believe what we're going to be looking at for the next portion of the game, of this common path of these two characters, is going to be the same for a little while, but different than what we saw before. So I'm looking forward to it, and in our next video, we'll watch it. Thank you very much. Have a great one.
Now,